YouTube? My name's Coda. Welcome back to another video. And as you can see, the 7.3 got a couple things. And then today's video in particular, we're going to be starting the Ranger build. I'm going to give you guys a rundown of everything we're going to do and what's going to go on throughout the series of doing it and why I came down to doing what I want to do with it. But as far as the 7.3 goes, the transmission is finally, I took it out. I had it upgraded. We did all that in about a couple of days. Didn't take too long. The transmission was literally built in a day. So what ended up happening with the transmission was simply just the overdrive clutches burnt themselves up, and I thought it I thought it might have been from some burnouts that I tried to do in this, because it's just a basic 4R100. But we found out that when the transmission was rebuilt, 2 owners before me, they dropped the pan to change the filter and the fluid, and they didn't take the gasket off the old filter, and they double stacked gaskets, and that wasn't good. It was giving basically too much air to the transmission and just fried up the overdrive clutches. But my guy that built the trans for me, he went over everything, showed me everything. I could see that the clutches were burnt. He showed me all the other stuff. I also found out that my overdrive solenoid had broken a pin. And that was another reason why overdrive was acting up as much as it was, like just going into false neutral on the interstate. And when you tried to come to a stop, it would just force itself forward until it stalled itself. Yeah, not fun. And then the other thing that this thing got is 6.4 stocks. I've been trying to get a hold of these 6.4 stocks for a while. If you know anything about the 6.4 stocks, they're pretty up there in value right now for some reason. And I had the 6.7 King Ranch stocks that I picked up for a stupid good deal. Paid about like $300 for them because one had a hole in the tire. All I did was patch it and it never leaked again. Traded some boys straight up for these, and they are the 6.4 stocks on 35-inch fuel tires. I've never ran these tires before, but honestly, they're kind of nice, and it definitely stands out and gives the truck a whole different look, and I'm really digging it right now. The truck also got a full MBRP 5-inch exhaust. I bought this used, basically brand new, but used off a 4-door, and we had to make a couple adjustments and do some new hangers because for whatever reason, absolutely nothing lined up with my hangers. But yeah, so everything under there so far is tight. I still need to go underneath and weld where we put some pipe together at, but it doesn't have any exhaust leaks or anything, so that'll get done probably here soon. It just hasn't been on my list of things to get done. And other than that, yeah, I took the subwoofer out of the back of my truck and I put it in my brother's truck. I'm undecided whether or not I'm going to put something else in this truck or not. I really want to get a custom box done for under the seat with either 2 10s or 4 8s. I'm not really sure. Leave below in the comments if you guys have 4 8s or 2 10s, what you like, how they hit. I'm just looking for recommendations on what to do with this extended cab because my options are very limited, but it's going to get a custom box regardless, so I just need to go with a good sub setup. But yeah, I just took this thing about 7+ hours down to North Carolina for Mini Truck Nationals, and that was an absolute blast. I will probably film there next year. This is my first year down there, just spending time with family, and it was really good. I really enjoyed getting into the mini truck scene. It was definitely a whole different scene. Everybody down there was so chill. It's not like the truck scene nowadays where everybody just wants to rip burnouts, throw beer cans, trash everywhere. That's the stuff that ruins it for me. That was one of my biggest things when I went to FP, is it was just honestly full of drunks. There was trash everywhere. People were stuffing trash in porta potties, stuff like that. But yeah, hoping that's fixed next year or this next event, so we can go back to Tennessee next year and try it again. But yeah, with that being said, let's go over here. Let's talk about the Ranger. All right, so as you can see, I've got the Ranger a little bit torn apart here. I'm taking everything off that is going to get changed. And so, for example, the headlights still need to come out. They're getting changed. The front grille is out because I'm probably going to replace it with a new one and get it paint matched. And the whole paint on this truck is going to get changed. I'm just going to go ahead and do all the stuff I want to do for now, and then paint is going to be probably one of the last things, possibly over winter. But this front bumper is probably going to get changed, or I might keep it. I'm on the fence. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. Obviously, those hooks are going to come out. They were in there when I got the truck. Headlights are getting changed to clear housings. Those pieces above the headlights, I still got to pull those out because those are also going to get painted. The windshield's going to get painted. Windshield wipers, they're going to come off and just get deleted. The antenna, that's all going to come off, get deleted. And I've got the fender pulled out here because it's all rusted and beat up. So I'm just going to replace it with another one. And then I also have, and it's all dirty because I haven't cleaned it yet, but we're going to do that in this video. The fender wells are out because this truck is eventually going to get put on airbags. Not right off the rip. It's just going to get a lowering kit, which is lower springs. It's going to get all new. It's going to get all new shocks. It'll get the lowering springs put in it. The more I tear into this, the more I notice like rotted bushings. All the wiring that's in here is all going to get tucked up in and just made a lot more cleaner. And then these door panels, those are going to get changed because somebody butchered all that shit. So it's going to get all new door speakers. Those are going to get changed. Mirrors are going to get changed to the newer style. I cleaned up this because this used to look like that, which is insane. But that needs cleaned up because I just pulled that off. And as you can see, I had already cleaned majority of this up, and I have still seen spiders and stuff like that all throughout this thing. So I'm probably going to buy some kind of like pest bomb or something, and I'm just going to let it go off in here and then air out for a couple days and then give it a real thorough cleaning once I know there's nothing else in here. I mean, all of this in this video, we're going to pressure wash all of that, get all that out. There was, if you remember in the last video, there was this like black shit all over the body. All I did was take Super Clean and I absolutely hosed all of this, and then I pressure washed it all off, so most of that is gone, thankfully. Again, this paint's going to get changed anyway, so, but I just wanted it to clean up at least. Third brake light is either going to get changed or it's just going to get completely shaved. I'm thinking about just completely filling it in and cleaning it up, making it shaved. All of this pen striping, that's all worn out all along. That's all. We're going to take an eraser wheel, get rid of all that. Everything that's in this bed needs to go to trash or get blown out, one of the two. Tail lights are getting changed. The rear bumper is getting taken off and it's getting a roll pan. And then the roll pan is going to get molded to the bed. And then as far as the tailgate, I think eventually what I'm going to do is mold this all together at some point. But as of right now, I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm just doing the bare basics to get it to where I want it. And then we're going to do an axle flip. So the leaf springs are going to go underneath the axle, and that'll drop it down a lot in the rear. And then it's going to get all new wheels. I already have wheels picked out, but they're probably not going to come for a little bit. I was thinking about getting like a cheap set of Steelies for a little bit and putting some kind of top. All right, I had to switch phones because mine ran out of fucking storage. But yeah, so I have just some new wheels picked out. I have the lowering kit picked out. I have a lot of shit picked out, ready to go for whenever I'm ready to start tackling this whole project. I did install a Pioneer radio in that. I put a battery in the truck to see if it would run. I did get it to start. Somebody took the cat off and just left it, so it also needs to have some kind of exhaust ran. And then we were noticing a couple other things. There's like a solenoid here that needs replaced. I believe it also needs a fuel pump. But what I'm gonna do is end up jacking the truck up, dropping the tank, and I'll probably, or maybe not, go ahead and bed liner this, or I might just do like a cheap bed liner for the time being. And then I'm gonna put a fuel cell probably right there. It's gonna be a 10-gallon fuel cell. I don't need anything crazy on this. And then it's got its own sending unit and everything. I'm gonna run all the lines to the motor. That way I can get rid of that tank and it has a full tank of bad fuel. So this thing, it did not want to stay running, but it does start. That's good. It does start. But yeah, there's a couple of little odds and ends in here. Like for example, when I pulled the fender well out on this side, the intake box sat on the fender well. So this is probably going to get a different intake. There's a couple other things like the windshield washer fluid. That's going to get eliminated, taken out. What else? The coolant reservoir, like the spare one or whatever, that is going to be switched out and either get something custom, or I'm not sure yet, but probably just like a custom aluminum tank or something to backflow into, because it also sits right there with that windshield washer reservoir and just takes up space. Yeah, we have some big plans for this thing. But what I'm going to do for the rest of the video is that desperately needs washed. And then I'm probably going to pull the pressure washer over here and try to get into these fender wells and get all this gunk and stuff sprayed out. And then I'm going to come over here, hit the door, try to do it without, I don't really care about these door panels. It's just everything behind the door panels. And then that stuff's going to get cleaned up all throughout here. I'm going to do my best to pressure wash it without getting anything inside. And then there's like little stuff like stickers we need to get rid of. I'm going to pull the seats out, and I would want to pull the entire carpet out. The entire carpet needs to be pulled out, and it needs to be thoroughly pressure washed and rubbed in with cleaner and get that all good. And then we can also finish getting the steering wheel cleaned up, because it cleaned up really nice there, because this used to be like that, and then I cleaned it with some heavy cleaner, and now it looks like that. But yeah, so let's go ahead, get the pressure washer out. We'll tackle getting that cleaned, and then once we're done with getting that cleaned, I'll move over to the Ranger and start working on that. Alright guys, so went ahead, got the truck all cleaned up. It's looking good, but if you can tell behind me, the wind's blowing really good. It's about to storm. That's my luck every time I clean this thing. Today was absolutely beautiful, and we're looking at like rain for over a week and a half. So sweet. But yeah, I got that all cleaned up. It looks good. And then I came over here to the Ranger, and I went ahead and sprayed up in the fender wells to get all that gunk and stuff out. Got into the door jambs, got all that sprayed out. It definitely needs a degreaser for some of that stuff. It wasn't enough pressure to, even though it was really strong, it wasn't enough to get it all out. I'm gonna get a hold of some more Super Clean, get it all done through there. If it's not raining tomorrow, then I'm gonna follow up with this video and get the carpet out and the seats out. I need to get them out so that the carpet can get pressure washed. And then I ordered some pest control, like smoke bomb things. I'm going to use them to hopefully eliminate the daddy long leg infestation inside this thing. That way that's done and I can fully detail it, clean it. And then I think while I have the carpet out, I might start pulling panels off, getting all the panels out, and I think we're gonna end up doing that soundproof stuff all over the floor, the cab, the roof. I might drop the headliner, go ahead, pull it out so I can redo the headliner because it's ripped and sagging. Do all that. I might throw a starlight in it. I might not. I'm not sure yet. I probably will. But yeah, so a lot of big plans for this. I think I'm just gonna make this one part 1, and then I'm gonna do a part 2 to this, and this is just gonna be a series of me just doing stuff to it. But yeah, so this thing, by the time we're done with it, it's gonna be lowered, wheels and tires, aesthetically pleasing on the outside. It's gonna get a whole paint job. I'm doing a full audio system. It's already got the radio, but I might have to relocate my battery for when this thing gets lowered, or I might be able to keep it for a little bit until it gets on bags. Once it gets on bags, then I'm gonna relocate it. But yeah, so a bunch of stuff in the engine bay is gonna get tweaked around. The lowering kit, it's gonna get a custom box with subwoofers, an amp, all that. But this thing's gonna be pretty sweet. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. There's some big plans for this truck here in the next year-ish. It's gonna be a slow process, but I'm gonna try and knock it out. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below if there's something you want to see on this truck. If you have any tips and tricks for audio, lowering, whatever, let me know. Peace.